Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video of the paid request. This time for Edward. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Sshot Season 1, Episode 2 and 3. Now, I mentioned before I saw the first episode, thanks to Edward. And I remember it's there, but it seems like a pretty generic, at best average, superhero cartoon show. And I still feel that way after watching these two episodes. I don't know if I would say painfully generic, but it just... pun intended, I haven't seen much of a spark that would really make me go, wow, this is really good. I mean, compared to, the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, or even Spectacular Spider-Man, Batman the Animated Series, Superman Animated Series, the 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon. I just think of other shows. Like, the characters seem fairly bland, the villains seem very kind of generic. There's really not much a sense of the character in terms of anything deeper than surface level. And like I said, nothing that really honed in of, oh, this makes it somewhat special of any sort. At least that I've seen so far. Maybe that's just me. But, like, episode 2, our character, Virgil, aka Sshot, he's with his buddy and such at the CD store. And they see a guy turn into a werewolf. Now, that werewolf runs off, and then we never see that werewolf again. So I thought that was going to lead to something. But, yeah, maybe I missed it, and I apologize if I did, but I'm like, where did that werewolf go? I thought that was going to lead to something bigger, but no, instead they run out, and then they meet Francis, the bully from the first episode. Which, I mean, come on, what kind of name is Francis for a bully? It makes me think of Stripes. Sit down, Francis. And again, he was a bully in the first episode, and when people got changed because of his gas, he got changed to be able to shoot fireballs. And he named himself Hot Streak. What kind of balls of a name is that? Sweaty balls. Hot Streak? What, was Hot Plate or Fire Crotch gone? Steaming Pile? I mean, if you don't want to think of a name, think of something like Inferno or something like that. Not Hot Streak. Hot Streak. Like Hot Pants? Yeah, might as well probably say Fire Crotch. Or Fire Hole. Because you're an a-hole. So one thing leads to another. The guy's able to get away. Come back to Sshot. They have a fight. Not much of a fight. Sshot kind of dodging fireballs, dumping some garbage on him, and then he gets blasted, and then before he gets defeated, some firemen hose him down. Which, I mean, what kind of villain is tough when a bunch of firemen can just hose him down? I don't know, it doesn't really buy much into the toughness of a villain if just, hey, some firemen can stop him. And that's the thing with Sshot, is that I still don't have 100% handle on his powers. Obviously, he deals with metal, electricity. But there's a bit later on where I guess there's some corruption going on within the city amongst this, dealing with the bully. Where he's listening in and he has like this trash can. And he holds the trash can up and he's able to hear what they're saying. I don't know how that works. What the details of that. Is the reverberation of the trash can somehow... I don't know. I don't know the details of that. But that's how it works. But yeah, he's mad himself that he lost. He choked up. He choked, as he put it. Of course, sooner or later, Hot Streak gets out. And then he's got to fight him again. Oh, before that, he's trying to get some info on this corruption. Gets trapped in this containment tube. Breaks himself out. So he's trying to like connect these two stories, but they don't really connect to each other. And then the corruption bit is kind of just forgotten about. And they don't bring it back in episode 3. I would assume they'll be brought back later on. I'm assuming. It's just weird that you bring this whole corruption thing and then you don't solve it. Okay, it's for future. But then in the next episode, you don't go into it at all. You don't mention it. You don't say anything in dialogue about it. I thought that was a bit weird. So he fights Firecrotch at the park. And I guess it's not much of a fight, pretty much dodging, throwing some stuff, and then Sshot lifts a pipe through the ground and it blasts sewage. Even I knew it was sewage, but Stad was so stupid he thought it was water, and his buddy had to go, no, that's sewage. Well, I could tell it was sewage because it's like green, like I could just tell, and it was. So again, it's weird how certain things kind of left dangling, like where's the werewolf guy? Was he caught later? And I just, maybe I missed it. The corruption thing, and the city officials being on the take or whatever. And then that's kind of left in the air. I'm assuming again for later purposes. Again, the bully, Hot Street, he didn't really seem like a intimidating villain. He seemed like a joke of a villain with a stupid name. There's really nothing of the character of Static Shock that to really point to and go, oh, well, that makes the character interesting, or that makes the character unique, or that makes the character, what he's going through, you feel for him. Other than him listening to his dad talk about how Static Shock got beat, man. He got beat bad. Also, it was weird that apparently the metahumans, people with powers, they're nicknamed Bane Babies. I'm like, Bane Babies? That's such a weird ass name, Bane Babies. I don't know, it just creates a lot of conflicting, awkward, weird thoughts when you say those words, Bane Babies. That sounds like maybe you're playing a video game and someone throws babies that explode. So that's some weird horror game, and it's like, here's some Bane Babies. Here's the baby. There's the kabang. I don't know, Bane Baby. I think that, couldn't you thought of like a better term than Bane Babies? She banes. So I thought it was a bit weird. So I'm like, I don't know about that episode. And then episode 3, there's this track star who wants help from Virgil for schoolwork, and Virgil's like, oh, okay, this guy's a track star, seems like a nice guy. But then the guy starts changing. Now, granted, I don't know how in the first episode, it seemed like people were changing because there's a group of people in this one facility, this one yard, that got affected by the gas. But now all these random people are being changed, and I don't think they were at the yard. It's not like there was 100 people there. There's only a certain amount that pertains to 2 Danes. The track star was on the straight and narrow path. Was he part of the Dane? I don't remember him being part of that. So if that's not the case, then how did he change? What made him change? Was he even there? I don't think he was there. I don't think he'd have a reason to be there. They don't establish that he was part of a Dane. Thus, he would have been in the yard in the first episode, thus affected by the gas, thus changing. So, why is it now like more random people being changed into monsters? By the way, didn't most of those other people get stopped and caught and were there any ladies there in that fight? Because later there's a bad guy group with a female named Talon. I don't remember any ladies being there maybe there was, but maybe I'm mistaken on all that. If so, I apologize. But it just seems like now it's just random people are just being changed to the creatures. So that like the whole city was in that one yard when the gas blew. But anyway, our trash starts changing, and the best way to describe them, if you ever seen Clayface in Batman, the animated series, imagine that face, but the body's white. Like the sunken big eyes and the big mouth and kind of that structure, but imagine it was all white. So again, I mean it's a white clay face, but it shoots ionic energy. So he's steered. He doesn't mean to wreck stuff, but he's just being steered. He runs away, and soon after he meets this guy, the Shadow Man. He can become the Shadow. He's in the shadows, who, as he puts it, collects metahumans. And he wants him to join his gang, which includes this female bird creature called Talon, and this guy named Shiv, who won't stop talking, he won't shut up, who shoots these projectiles. And pretty much wants this guy to join them to be for and steal stuff, steal money. And so the trash star is given the name D-Strut. So Virgil, aka Sshot, is looking for this guy, trying to figure out what's going on. Talks to the guy's mom. The guy's mom is scared. The guy ran away because of her. Sees them, fights them, but gets blasted out of the window because they're stealing. The four are stealing. It's like from a van, but there's also in a sports store. But Sshot tries to fight a few of them, but gets blasted away. In order to save himself, he grabs a power line and swings down like Tarzan. He even makes a Tarzan reference. There's also a point that he's grabbed and he's asked to join the group. As RT will give you time to think about it and then throws him out. That's how later he's able to evaluate that, okay, they're in an abandoned subway station. His buddy hacks into the computer, find the right spot, get there, talks with the trash star, convinces him this is not the way to go. They run off into a subway car. It's not much of a battle, it's pretty much there's the creature Talon, static blasts her. One guy's up top, D-Strut blasts him. There's the Shadow Man. I make the light very, very bright, and Shadow Man goes, has an orgasm, and leaves. And then D-Strut, he hasn't changed back, but he's now going to, I guess, he's reunited with his mom, is willingly going to be tested to figure out what's going on. So, not granted whether we find out that he's going to be secretly tortured and tested on for years and years to come, and this was the first step in mistake, and you'll find out later on, I don't know. Damn you, Status Shock. You lied. But that's what I mean, like, the action scenes are not really that memorable. The atmosphere, the animation is kind of either standard to substandard. Like I said, nothing in animation really blows me away. This is lower budgeted Saturday morning cartoon stuff. The voice acting, I don't mind Phil Lamar. He does alright as Static Shock. The other voices do fine as well. I mean, they're only 20-some minutes long, so they're easy to watch. There's nothing that made me mad or angry. But I mean, it's a C or D level superhero character in a, at best, C level show. That's why I'm not trying to be so harsh on it. It's just, so far, there's really nothing that really showcases why this lasted more than one season. Again, I've seen shows that I thought were better and only lasted one season. Whether because of the way they were marketed or what station they were on, they just sadly didn't last longer. But this, I just don't see it so far. You feel free to educate me what I'm missing, but hey, if everyone wants to request more, he can request as many as he wants. Please be my guest. You've been very kind, Edward. If not, I understand. If so, I look forward to it. So all I can do is give my honest opinion. But thanks, Edward. I really appreciate it, man. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.